Welcome back to the Crypto Ski Conversation. We're going to quickly jump into CoinGecko here. We're currently sitting at a $1.89 trillion market cap, currently down 2% for the day. Looking at the top 10 here, Bitcoin sitting at 39,907, Ethereum sitting at 2,774, Tether's Tether, Binance Coin sitting at 397, XRP sitting at 77 cents, Cardano sitting at 99 cents, Solana is sitting at $90, Avalanche is sitting at $83, and Terra is sitting at $50. And as you can see, we have a lot of red in the market. Coming over here to the Bitcoin Fear Green Index, we're in the 30s, so we're back in this fear range again. So as you can see, yesterday we were hitting a high of 52, but we instantly dumped last night, I want to say later in the night, to 30. There's been a lot of fear and uncertainty going on in the markets, especially with going on with Russia, and then you have Jerome Powell and the Fed and inflation and a whole bunch of negative narratives that's been pushed. I wanted to jump into some tweets here. So we've been kind of tracking what's going on with the Ripple versus SEC stuff, and obviously we have this new motion, or this new part in the case where these memos of Ripple are supposed to be unsealed. So we're kind of waiting to see kind of what happens with those things. Obviously, based on what we've seen from Stuart Alderadi and what he said in his statement, we think there's going to be some positives in regards to those being unsealed, especially with them, not wanting to redact anything. They think that it shows that Ripple wasn't an investment contract. So it's going to be a win and a positive for Ripple's position within the case. But starting with Eleanor Terrett's tweet here, says, was trying for an early night, but after reading the latest SEC motion, my head is exploding. So the SEC still hasn't taken an official position on Ether. So quickly talking about that is some scary stuff, because a lot of investors out there were utilizing William Hinman's Ethereum free pass speech, saying that Bitcoin and Ethereum weren't looked at as securities; they were commodities. So to finally to surface to see that the SEC hasn't officially given its position on whether Ethereum is a security or not, that's problematic. So it says the SEC still hasn't taken an official position on Ether because SEC staff did in fact use Hinman's speech to provide public guidance on sales of Ether, but only on behalf of corp finance. And she's like, what? And then XRP Crypto Wolf says, does the SEC think the judge is dumb or something? If I were the judge, I'd be pissed and how ridiculous the agency is being with the back and forth BS. True facts there for sure. Coming over here, Eleanor Terrett also has a tweet thread here. It says, scoop, a source close to the SEC told me in regards to the latest motion, whether it was Hinman's personal opinion or the corporation finance, it doesn't really matter. They were views expressed by the staff with a disclaimer, meaning they were not voted on and opted by the full commission. So technically, the SEC has never formally taken a position on the status of ETH and BTC in that regard. So that's problematic, especially for the Ethereum investors. I'm an investor myself. So this person did say they believe the speech was intended to be guidance to the market as to the SEC's thought process. So that doesn't mean anything. Thought process? We need some regulatory clarity. Problematic. That's kind of what we're dealing with this Ripple versus SC stuff and the clarity on XRP. She also concludes saying, also, when asked about the timing of the new motion in regards to the DPP, this person would not comment. So it's quite interesting. XRP Crypto Wolf says the SEC doesn't think Hinman's speech matters. It definitely matters for the XRP lawsuit, and has a laughing emoji. We all know it matters. Speaking of on that, I mean, the fact that they have this back and forth kind of talking, out of both sides of their mouth. At one point, they're saying, no, that was his personal opinion, but then trying to come back and say, no, there's some vital components that has to do with certain deliberations we have within the SEC. So, there's some stuff that we have to keep private in a sense. It's like, okay, well, you can't have your cake and eat it too. It's just the reality. But that's what we're dealing with. Coming over here, Johnny Dean is responding to Stefan Huber's tweet here. Says, what meta level have we arrived at now? So the Hinman speech was not the SEC's position, but the personal opinion of Hinman. Why didn't represent the SEC, but the SEC division of corporate finance, which represents the SEC but doesn't represent the SEC because it isn't the SEC. So he has the clown emoji, and that's just, it's silly. That's the truth. And Johnny Dean says, at the end of the day, this should all play right into Ripple's F&D. I think it is very obvious that the speech has caused great confusion within the SEC itself. Therefore, it's clear that the market was confused. Absolutely. So how is anybody else supposed to know, what the, regulatory status is of Ethereum, for instance, or any other digital assets? How is, us as investors in XRP supposed to know, the clear and concise rules when there isn't any, when the SEC doesn't even believe in its own, agenda or position within this Ripple versus SEC case? It's crazy. So continue on here. Neil Reed had a good tweet here. He says the SEC can't even manage to provide clarity on their clarification of a speech providing clarification on guidance. God forbid the SEC ever try to provide guidance on clarification. So it's the truth. And then Johnny, I think no, wait. Oh, did I miss it? Okay, so pretty much there was a response. I think Johnny Deaton was pretty much had like this. He had responded to this tweet, and it was just like an explosion of the brain. Like wow, and then someone was like, "Oh, right here it says best tweet ever." It is so true, man. Just the confusion and foolery is nuts. Coming over here, this is huge. Just from Blockworks, it says just in Fed to ban senior officials from trading crypto, among others, after a trading scandal. It says most of the restrictions will take effect on May 1st, 2022, although the new rules on the advance notice of pre-clearance of transactions will take effect on July 1st. Interesting. Johnny Deaton says, a lot of people forget a very important point from the Ripple and XRP. Until 2018, there was not a policy in effect at the SEC against owning crypto. There was a policy regarding equities and other securities. An SEC enforcement lawyer was allowed to own XRP without question or comment. Things that make you go, And then this John Wick says, I have to say, Mr. Deaton, you, sir, are relentless. Absolutely. We're going to end on this one here. John Deaton. So he has this great thread here, and you really need to listen to this and take this to heart, because I know, emotions can get, kind of taken out of control. We've been through a lot as XRP investors. So he's responding to Don Morbley's tweet here. Says, honest question here, John. Why does the judge allow this clown show to continue? Johnny Deaton starts by saying, below is an honest question that many have. I've seen a lot of negative comments lately at the judges. Your frustration is misplaced. Please know, I understand everyone's anger, but people are unrealistically expecting the judge on her own volition to throw out the case. That's not how it works. The judge rules on motions that are filed before her. Ripple has not filed a motion to dismiss the case for any type of wrongdoing. The judge only knows about conflicts of interest and appearances of impropriety because I submitted a declaration citing it. To be candid, the only reason I was able to cite those conflicts is because the SEC attacked me personally, trying to paint me as unhinged Twitter conspiracy theorist. Unless Ripple files a motion to dismiss based on all of this info, the judge isn't going to just throw it out. If she did throw it out, as many wish, there would be no clarity regarding XRP at all. That's the key point. There would be no clarity, and that's not what we want. That's why Ripple just isn't going to settle, roll over and settle. They need regulatory clarity on XRP. The exchanges would not relist because there would be no finding that XRP is not a security. Second, she would get overturned on appeal and a new judge assigned, and the case would start over. That would be problematic. He ends by saying, people can disagree with me, but attacking the judge is unwarranted and misplaced. I stand by what I said in March and April of 2021, even before I was granted amicus. Ripple and XRP holders got lucky having these two judges assigned. And I 100% agree with that. We absolutely got lucky with these two judges. So, I wanted to end on that because it's so important that we realize that we have to, focus that frustration, that anger kind of holding in, and continue to fight the good fight that we're fighting. Keep servicing, the scandals, the conflicts of interest, them on video footage and them in their own words kind of contradicting themselves. Let's just keep fighting the good fight, do the research, service it, spread it around Twitter, and do what we have to do to, protect us as investors and bring the fight to the SEC, because that's what it's all about. We don't need to turn on the judges. We don't need to turn on others. The divide within the community needs to stop, and we need to realize that we are all on the same team. With that being said, stay strong out there. Be safe.